So you think they're doing it for the bag?
They're doing it for the bag.
You don't think that they're interested in country?
No, they're interested in how much each political party is offering.
Would you do it for the bag?
No.
Okay.
I will not do it for the bag.
This is Unfiltered Youth and Politics. I am Kriss Hussain, and we are very pleased to have with us here. Some of you all may know her, some of you all may not, and you get the opportunity to get to know her today. And before I even introduce you, I just want to say thank you for coming on, because I have been following Dawn, so I'm going to introduce Dawn Marie Alexander for some time on social media. So, Dawn, I don't know if you want me to introduce you, or you should introduce yourself, but I do know you are a communication specialist, and you also taught at Astor Boys College in San Fernando. So tell us a little bit about your communication role and some of the things you did there that I want to get out.
Okay. All right. Well, I am Dawn Marie Alexander. I commonly go as Dawn. And my field of work is communication specialist, content creation, and education. I recently started working at Astor Boys College about a year or so ago. And while I was there, I started off as a trainee. I was teaching English A and B for CSEC level.
That's so fun.
It is, but a lot of the boys don't like reading. But what they were interested in when I joined the school itself was my social media presence. Mm-hmm. They would see me on social media. They would see me making my get ready with me videos, any like events that I go to. And they're like, but miss, why are you doing this? Miss, why are you even bothering to make these videos? You didn't even get any views. And I was like, you don't understand the concept of content creation, because I was not doing it for the views. I was doing it to build my portfolio. I was doing it to show that I am capable of making content. I'm capable of producing high quality content, regardless of the engagement on social media. And because of that now, I decided that instead of trying to explain to them every single day how social media works and why I'm doing this, I decided I'm going to implement the content creation club within the school. Now, the principal himself, he's a very progressive person, Mr. Faid Ali, and he was very open-minded with the idea. So he said, you know what? Go ahead, hit the ground running, go ahead and start producing content with these boys, because it's something that they're exposed to on a daily basis.
So you are in a very interesting space.
Yeah.
Usually, so the academia space. And people would feel sometimes as you have to only know maths, you have to only know grammar, English, if you learn Spanish, history, geography, all of those things. And whilst those things are very important for the development of any citizen, you would have been able to implement a club within the school. Almost, would the best way to describe it as shifting the direction away from non-traditional or adding to what they know now?
I definitely think it's more of a shift, because a lot of the more traditional educators that are around still aren't very open to this idea. So it's not particularly like we're adding to the things that are already there. We're opening a new opportunity, or we're implementing something that is a lot more progressive, something that they haven't really heard or seen before. Because there are a lot of, as I said, educators that see this approach as something that is not necessary, something that is not substantial, something that
you're playing the fool.
Yeah, you're playing the fool. We're making them videos for you, just on the damn phone, all the time.
But there's a political analyst that says that about us.
Yeah.
So okay. We were at harass. Continue.
Yes, but with that, a lot of the individuals there would have seen this as something that is almost counterproductive. It's almost like the students aren't doing something productive in their mind. Is it productive? I believe it's productive.
Why?
Because content creation has two main realms, which is education and entertainment. And the approach that we have taken with the ABC Content Club, because it's a school, I would have implemented the idea within the boys that this is a brand that we're upholding. And because it's a school and it's academics, we should take the approach of education in our content rather than entertainment. And with that, we have been able to create more valuable content that educates people. For instance, Library Line. Library Line itself is something that allows people to become a lot more educated on basic cultural, social studies, when you think about it.
So this space, non-traditional, we've seen a lot of influencers, content creators, and I wonder, is it a space that is a lucrative business, industry? Can young people really say, well, in your instance, Miss, I want to be a content creator, and can I really earn enough money in a month to sustain life and support a family? Or is this just playing the fool?
I definitely think that it is a very lucrative opportunity. And the only reason why I think it's lucrative is because it's new. A lot of people are not within this space yet, and a lot of people have not been able to really navigate this area yet. Something that they see as, is nothing that could align with like an engineer or a lawyer. But when you think of it, those spaces are so saturated right now. And there are people that are looking to communicate their messages for their business. And there's no one there. If you check right now within these job spaces or career spaces, everybody's looking for a content creator. Everybody's looking for a video producer. Everybody is looking for a social media manager. I see a lot of governmental organizations now opening these spaces for individuals and offering, a lot of money.
Do we have this space in the education system that allows the person to be prepared outside of the club that you're doing? Do we have this space to allow them to be that creative and give them the tools, whether it is copyright, whether it is editing, whatever the tools would be for this industry? Are we equipping young people enough in that area?
No. Simply put, we are not allowing students to flourish in that particular area, because schools still have this very archaic mindset that, you need to take that science route, you need to take that modern studies route, that business route. They never really consider the creative route, and those that are within those creative spaces are usually treated as outcasts or not treated as, good enough in a sense. So you could definitely see how schools are not very supportive of this particular endeavor, but there are very few in between the progressive teachers that see that students are changing. It's a dynamic world that we live in. Students are not the same as they were 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
You think students are lazy nowadays?
I think they're only lazy because of what they're exposed to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think we need to expose young people to more?
Yeah. I think that they need to be given the opportunity to experience different things. But we've always had this protect them mindset. We've always had this kind of keep them sheltered, and do your books, read your books, beat your books, and that's it. And then they have to figure out life after that. So we've never really given them the practical insights into a lot of things. And I've had to teach a lot of my boys within the club just to do a lot of the basic critical thinking, analytical things. And, even from there, you could see their growth almost immediately. And then I wonder, what were your teachers doing for the past 2 years, 3 years?
Do you think they respond this way to you because of your age?
I'm not too sure.
Because you're closer, like a big sister.
I do think that my age plays a part in how well they interact with me.
Right.
But I do believe that any adult could get to them that way if they just take the time and get on their level. Because, a lot of adults do talk from a place of authority, and they don't actually come down on their level to relate and empathize and allow them to see that I was a child once.
So in speaking about authority, this is not, so we discussed Unfiltered, we discussed the youth side.
Yeah.
But the politics side, we're in an election season. Yeah. And I view political leaders, players, candidates as influencers, because they are influential in their own right. And you see it in the way that they drum up messages and maybe, erupt sometimes social media and the conversation. But we're also seeing a number of influencers, social media influencers, content creators coming out, and I don't know if all are genuine or some are, just posting for posting's sake. What is your take on that, and how do you think that is going to impact young people when because you have a following of 100,000? That's a lot of people in Trinidad and Tobago that's following you. If maybe not 100, but maybe 80,000 might be from here, possibly, I don't know.
Right.
And they are carrying messages and posting political ads, etc. What's your take on that?
Trinidad and Tobago, I am telling you solemnly, these influencers, these content creators, they are doing it for the bag. They are pushing a political agenda that they have no idea about when you think about it. Lots of these people, before the political season here, they would not even hear them speak about anything relating to politics or governmental.
So here's the thing. I was just talking to someone about this. I have a friend, right? We're cool. Not involved in politics, nothing, discussion, nothing. Never,
right.
no.
Ever.
Nothing. Don't care. Right? A Sunday could fall on a Monday. And I saw him or her, right? Because I had to be careful, I'm a friend too. But I saw them post. They made a political post. They put the emoji of the party's color. They didn't even have a caption.
Right.
And then they hid the post. They removed it from the grid. You know what I mean, right? And I was like, wow. So you talk about not being sincere. I found that to be disingenuous.
Yeah, and I think it's very, it's almost dangerous. Because remember, the younger generation right now, that's all they know. Social media, short form content, that's all they know. And when you now send people that they relate to on a regular basis to, promote or advocate for a certain party that they don't even have enough information about or know enough about their history, it's almost dangerous to now tell these students, well, you should vote for XYZ, these young impressionable people to vote for XYZ, and they don't even have a complete idea of what these people are doing, but they know that the people that they trust and the people that they look up to on a regular basis is telling them to vote for these people.
You think people are that impressionable?
They are very impressionable. You would not believe, when you think about it, right? They would believe anything they see on social media.
Really?
People believe everything they see on social media.
They do.
Because, let's think about it, right? I make personal content. I make Miss Dawn content, which is like English, everyday English dialect. I teach people how to speak proper English in their everyday English without compromising dialect. And with that, when I'm making content, I batch create. So there are some days where I would make 5 videos in one go. And of course, there would be those days where I make those videos in one go. I change my earring, change my top, comb my hair a different way. When I sit down in front of the camera, I could more than likely convince my audience that this is 5 separate videos on 5 separate days because I'm dressed differently.
And we are convinced.
Yeah. They all will be convinced. You have so much time to be making all of these videos. You're so consistent. How are you able to make, all of these things at such a time? And I can't even say, well, I just sit on one morning and, make about 5 videos.
So the influencers do find a way to influence us.
They do.
Yeah.
It is their job. Now, as I said, this is something that they get paid to do. They are getting an offer. It may not necessarily be money all the time. It could be an opportunity in their field or whatever the case is. Yeah, they're just being paid by the parties, the relevant parties, to promote a particular agenda.
So we saw in the US election where a number of celebrities, they would have come out and endorsed particular parties. One in particular got a lot of celebrity endorsements. Unfortunately, for the outcome of that party, they were unsuccessful. In Trinidad, although we cannot compare the ratio 1-to-1, what happens there, what happened here, but we do have a similar environment, not large-scale celebrities, but influencers. You think they're going to have an impact in influencing younger voters?
The simple answer is yes. I think that's the best way to put it, because students right now, they are very impressionable. They are on social media on a very consistent basis, every day even, and they're exposed to this disinformation or misinformation every day. And they look up to these people. They definitely do. A lot of people like to keep track of, celebrities in Trinidad, politicians in Trinidad, because of that sense of status, they feel the need to listen to them. And with that, a lot of students are going to become influenced by what it is their favorite influencers are promoting right now on social media.
In wrapping up, what is one message you have for young people looking on, as a content creator, as an educator, as a young voter as well? What you going to tell young people looking on?
I want young people to know, the only advice that I can give you is that you need to stay skeptical. You need to stay skeptical of all of the information that you're receiving on social media, the information that you're getting from the adults around you. All of these things are things that you have to analyze. Things that you have to now make your own educated guesses on, or your own educated opinions on. You need to form those things for yourself. And with that, you need to be skeptical of the information that you're getting from all of these public figures, all of these people that are creating content, because it is potentially damaging to you and what you believe in if it is you're not, fully aware of your values and your principles.
Yeah. Well, Dawn, I want to thank you for coming on. And I want everyone who is looking on to continue to share our content, to continue to comment, continue to interact with us, because this has been Unfiltered Youth and Politics.